Everyone tells you to cut out lattes and cancel Netflix. That's not saving money. That's just being miserable. And honestly, even if you cut your $5 coffee every single day, you're saving what? 1,800 bucks a year max? That's not life-changing money. That's not going to get you out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle. That's not going to build real wealth. So today, I'm going to share 7 actual saving tricks that nobody talks about. Each one saves you at least $1,000 per year. Some of them save way more. And tip number 4 is the one that saved me $5,000 last year. And I didn't even notice. I'm not kidding. I literally forgot I was doing it. And then I looked at my account and almost fell out of my chair. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, I gotta explain why the normal saving advice you've been hearing your whole life just doesn't work. Think about it. Every financial guru, every article, every well-meaning family member tells you the same thing. Make coffee at home, pack your lunch, cancel subscriptions. And look, I'm not saying those are bad ideas, but here's the problem. You're fighting for pennies when you could be capturing dollars. Let's do some quick math. You cut your daily coffee, saves you $5 a day. That's $18.25 a year. Cool. You pack your lunch instead of buying. Saves you maybe $10 a day, 5 days a week. That's $2,600 a year. Not bad, but you're also miserable because you're eating cold sandwiches at your desk while everyone else goes to the taco place. Here's what nobody tells you. The real money leaks aren't in your coffee cup. They're in the invisible spending patterns you don't even realize you have. The impulse Amazon orders, the subscription you forgot about 6 months ago, the extra $40 you spend at the grocery store because you didn't have a plan. The 7 tips I'm about to share average between $1,500 and $2,500 in savings each. And the best part? Most of them don't require you to deprive yourself of anything. You just need to change how and when you spend, not what you spend on. Total potential savings if you implement all 7, $10,000 to $15,000 per year. That's rent money, that's a vacation fund, that's the down payment on a house in just a few years. Ready? Let's go. Tip number 1, the 48-hour rule. Here's what it is. Before you buy anything over $50, you wait 48 hours. That's it. You don't say no, you just say not yet. Put it in your cart, screenshot it, add it to a wish list, then walk away for 2 days. Why does this work? Because your brain is wired to want things in the moment. Marketers know this. That's why they create urgency with limited time offers and countdown timers. They're hacking your psychology. The 48-hour rule is you hacking it back. Here's the thing that blew my mind when I started doing this. 80% of the stuff I wanted after waiting 2 days, I didn't want anymore. The excitement wore off. The emotional spike faded. I looked at that thing in my cart and thought, why did I even want this? The exact hack goes like this. Anytime you're about to buy something over $50, add it to a note on your phone with the date. Set a reminder for 48 hours later. When the reminder goes off, ask yourself one question. Do I still want this as much as I did 2 days ago? If yes, buy it guilt-free. If no, delete it and move on. Real numbers. The average American spends about $200 a month on impulse purchases. If this rule cuts that in half, that's $100 a month. But honestly, it cuts way more than that for most people. Let's be conservative and say you save $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year. Now I know what you're thinking, but what if it sells out? What if the sale ends? Here's my answer. If it's meant to be, it'll be there. And if it's not, something just as good will come along. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I can't think of a single time I genuinely regretted waiting. Not once. Bottom line, the 48-hour rule doesn't cost you anything except a little patience, and it saves you $2,400 a year. Tip number 2, the invisible bank account. This one sounds simple, but it's probably the most powerful trick on this list. Here's the concept. You open a savings account at a completely different bank than your main checking account. Different bank, no app on your phone, no debit card. You make it as hard as possible to access. Then you set up an automatic transfer. The day you get paid, money moves to that invisible account before you even see it. It's gone. It doesn't exist to your spending brain. Why does this work? Because out of sight really is out of mind. When money is sitting in your checking account, it feels like available money. It feels like spending money. But when it's in a separate bank that takes 3 business days to transfer back, suddenly it doesn't feel available anymore. It feels like real savings. The exact hack. Go to a different bank than your main one. Could be a high-yield savings account at an online bank. Open the account. Set up a direct deposit split with your employer so part of your paycheck goes straight there. Or set up an automatic transfer for the day after payday. Here's the key. Delete the app after you set it up. I'm serious. Don't keep it on your phone. If you want to check it, you have to log in on a computer. Make it inconvenient. That friction is the point. Real numbers. Let's say you're making $50,000 a year. That's roughly $1,900 per paycheck if you're paid bi-weekly. If you send $200 of that to your invisible account, you're looking at $5,200 a year, and you'll adjust to living on the remaining amount faster than you think. The common objection is, what about emergencies? Here's my answer. That's what your checking account emergency fund is for. Keep a small buffer in checking, maybe 1 to 2 months of expenses. The invisible account is for long-term savings and goals. These are two different buckets for two different purposes. Bottom line, you can't spend what you can't see. Make your savings invisible and watch it grow. Tip number 3, the 20-minute grocery rule. Okay, this one might sound weird, but stick with me. Here's how it works. When you go to the grocery store, you set a 20-minute timer on your phone the second you walk in, and then you race the clock. Sounds crazy, right? But this single habit has saved me more money than almost anything else I've tried. Let me explain why. The average person spends 41 minutes in a grocery store per trip, and grocery stores are designed to make you spend more the longer you stay. That's why milk is at the back. That's why the checkout lanes are lined with candy and magazines. Every extra minute you're in there, you're adding things to your cart. The psychology is simple. Browsing equals buying. When you have unlimited time, you wander. You pick things up. You think, oh, that looks good. You throw in stuff that wasn't on your list. The 20-minute timer forces you to be intentional. You grab what you came for and get out. The exact hack. Before you go to the store, make your list organized by section. Produce, dairy, meat, frozen, whatever. This way, you're not backtracking. You're moving through efficiently. Set your timer when you walk in. Move with purpose. No browsing the random end caps. No stopping to read every label, grab and go. Real numbers. Studies show that shoppers spend about $2 per minute in a grocery store. If you cut 20 minutes off your typical trip, that's $40 saved. Go once a week, and that's over $2,000 a year. Even if you're more conservative and say you save $30 a trip, you're still looking at $1,500 annually. The objection I hear is, I need time to find deals and compare prices. Here's the reality check. The deals you find rarely save you more than the impulse items you avoid. That 2-for-1 special on chips you didn't need cost you more than the 50 cents you saved comparing 2 brands of pasta sauce. Bottom line, treat the grocery store like a heist. Get in, get your stuff, get out. Your wallet will thank you. All right, here it is. Tip number 4. The one that saved me $5,000 last year without me even noticing. This is the one I told you about at the beginning. It's called the reverse budget. Here's how most people budget. They get paid, they spend on whatever they need and want, and then at the end of the month, they save whatever's left over, which is usually nothing, or close to it. The reverse budget flips this completely. You save first, then spend what remains. It sounds obvious when I say it like that, but almost nobody actually does this. The exact hack. Automate 30% of your income to go directly to savings and investments before you ever see it. I'm talking automatic transfers set up to happen the day your paycheck hits. Boom, 30% gone to your invisible account, to your Roth IRA, to your brokerage account, wherever. Then you live on the remaining 70%. Why 30%? Because it's aggressive enough to actually move the needle, but still realistic for most people. You can start at 20 if you need to and work your way up, but 30 is a target. Here's why this saved me $5,000 without me noticing. When I set this up, I was terrified. I thought I'd run out of money every month, but something weird happened. I just adjusted. I found ways to make the 70% work. I ate out a little less. I found cheaper alternatives. I got creative. And at the end of the year, I had this massive chunk of savings I hadn't even thought about. Real numbers depend on your income. If you make $50,000, 30% is $15,000 a year in automatic savings. Make $75,000, that's $22,500. Make $100,000, $30,000. This isn't a small hack. This is the whole game. The common objection is, I can't live on 70% of my income. But here's what I want you to really think about. Are you currently living on 100% of your income? Or are you living on like 95% after frivolous spending and then having 5% randomly left over sometimes? The truth is, you're probably wasting more than 30% already on things that don't bring you real value. Bottom line, don't save what's left after spending, spend what's left after saving. This one habit alone can build generational wealth. Tip number 5, the one-touch subscription rule. How many subscriptions do you have right now? Quick, without looking. Can you name all of them? If you're like most people, the answer is no. And that's exactly the problem. Here's the hack. Turn off auto-renew on every single subscription you have. All of them. Netflix, Spotify, that meditation app you use twice, your gym membership, everything. Instead, you're going to manually decide each month whether to renew. When you get the email saying your subscription is about to end, you have to actively choose to resubscribe. Why does this work? Because subscriptions are designed to be invisible. They charge you automatically, so you never have to think about them. And companies know that even if you stop using their service, most people won't bother to cancel. They're betting on your laziness. The one-touch rule forces you to actively say yes every single month. And you'd be amazed how many times you'll look at that renewal email and think, actually, I haven't used this in weeks. I don't need it. The exact hack. This weekend, go through your credit card and bank statements. Find every recurring charge, log into each account, and turn off auto renew. Set calendar reminders for when each subscription ends so you can decide whether to renew. Real numbers. The average American spends over $200 a month on subscriptions. Most people are paying for at least 2 or 3 they don't use. If this rule helps you cut just $120 a month in unused subscriptions, that's $1,440 a year. The objection is, what if I forget and lose access to something I need? My response is, if you forget about it, you didn't need it. That's literally the point. The things you actually use, you'll remember to renew. The things you don't, you won't. The system self-selects for what actually matters to you. Bottom line, make subscriptions work for you, not against you. Manual renewal means mindful spending. Tip number 6, the roundup rule. This one's been around for a while, but most people don't do it right, or they dismiss it because it seems too small to matter. Let me change your mind. The concept is simple. Every time you make a purchase, you round up to the nearest $10 and save the difference. Buy something for $12, you round up to $20 and $8 goes into savings. Buy something for $47, round up to $50, $3 saved. Now I know what you're thinking. $3, $8, that's nothing. But here's where it gets interesting. The average person makes about 50 transactions a month. If you round up each one to the nearest $10, you're saving an average of $5 per transaction. That's $250 a month, $3,000 a year in spare change. The exact hack: use an app like Acorns or Capital that does this automatically. Every purchase triggers a roundup that gets invested. Or if you want to go manual, set up a spreadsheet and transfer the rounded amount to savings every few days. The psychological genius of this trick is that you never feel it. You're spending $47, what's another 3? But those 3s and 4s and 7s add up fast. Real numbers. Being conservative. Let's say you only save an average of $3 per transaction and you make 40 transactions a month. That's $120 a month, $1,440 a year. Not life-changing on its own, but combined with everything else, it adds up. The objection is it's too small to matter, and my response is this: show me your current savings rate. If you're not consistently putting away anything, then an extra $1,400 a year absolutely matters. Perfect is the enemy of good. Start small, build the habit, scale up later. Bottom line, small amounts invested consistently beat large amounts invested never. Round up your way to wealth. And finally, tip number 7, the 24-hour menu rule. This one is specifically for eating out, and it's changed how I think about restaurants completely. Here's the hack. Whenever you're planning to eat out, you order and pay online 24 hours before you actually go. You look at the menu the day before. You decide what you want. You place your order. You pay. Done. Why is this so powerful? Because restaurants are designed to make you spend more once you're there. You sit down, you see the appetizers, the waiter asks if you want a drink, you smell the desserts, suddenly your $20 dinner is a $50 experience. Ordering in advance eliminates all of that. You show up, your food is ready, you eat, you leave. No impulse appetizers. No, I'll just have one more drink. No, oh, that dessert sounds amazing. You already decided what you wanted in a rational state of mind, not a hungry one. The exact hack. Most restaurants have online ordering now, even for dine-in. Check their app or website. If they don't offer advanced ordering, look at the menu online and decide exactly what you'll get before you go. Then stick to it. No modifications when you arrive. Real numbers. The average person spends about $200 a month eating out. If this trick cuts even 20% off your restaurant spending by eliminating impulse additions, that's $40 a month, $480 a year. But realistically, most people I talk to save way more. Let's say you save $40 a week. That's over $2,000 a year. The objection is this ruins the spontaneity of eating out. And honestly, I get that. But you know what else ruins things? Being broke, having credit card debt, stressing about money every month. A little planning goes a long way. Bottom line, decide before you dine. Your future self will thank you. All right, let's stack all of this up and see what we're working with. Tip 1, the 48-hour rule saves you $2,400 a year. Tip 2, the invisible bank account saves you $5,200 a year. Tip 3, the 20-minute grocery rule saves you about $2,000 a year. Tip 4, the reverse budget varies based on income, but for someone making 50 grand, that's potentially $15,000 a year. Tip 5, the one-touch subscription rule saves you $1,440 a year. Tip 6, the roundup rule saves you another $1,440 a year. And tip 7, the 24-hour menu rule saves you $2,000 a year. Add all that up and you're looking at anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a year in savings. And that's being conservative on most of these. Now, I'm not saying you need to do all 7. That's a lot to implement at once, but pick 3. Just 3 that resonate with you. That's still $5,000 to $7,000 a year. In 2 years, you've got 10 grand saved. In 5 years, that's enough for a house down payment. In 10 years, that's a serious investment portfolio earning returns. This is how you actually build wealth, not by giving up coffee, not by depriving yourself, by being strategic about the invisible spending patterns that drain your account. Look, these aren't the tips that finance gurus talk about because they're not sexy. There's no get rich quick promise. There's no magic investment that'll 10x your money. It's just real, practical habits that actually work. And the beautiful thing is, most of these take less than 5 minutes to set up. The invisible bank account, 20 minutes online, done forever. The 48-hour rule, just a note on your phone. The one-touch subscription rule, a few hours this weekend and you're set. Here's what I want you to do. Start with one today, right now. The 48-hour rule costs you literally nothing to try. Zero effort, zero sacrifice, just a 2-day pause before you buy anything over 50 bucks. Do it for 30 days. Watch what happens. I guarantee you'll be surprised at how much you don't buy. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Every dollar you save now is a dollar that's working for you. Growing, compounding, building the life you actually want. You've got this. So which tip are you going to try first? Drop it in the comments below. I want to know. And if you've got your own unconventional saving tricks, share those too. I'm always looking for new strategies to try. I'll see you in the next one.